Well, back in Washington, President Biden taking a big victory lap yesterday after Senate Democrats passed his $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill, despite not one single Republican voting for it.
This plan gives those families who are struggling the most the help and the breathing room they need to get through this moment. This plan gives small businesses in this country a fighting chance to survive. And one more thing, this plan is historic. Taken all together, this plan is going to make it possible to cut child poverty in half.
The bill now goes to the House for a vote on Tuesday. So what can we expect? Republican Senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn, joins us now. Senator, good to see you. Thank you for coming on Fox News Live.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Of course. Well, you voted against this bill, as did every other Republican senator, all united in opposition to it. Why did you turn thumbs down?
You know, it's so interesting that all the COVID relief bills that we have passed under Leader McConnell's leadership were done in a bipartisan manner. Every one of them got 90 votes or more. So that shows you the degree of bipartisanship and how very hard Leader McConnell and President Trump and Leader McCarthy had worked to make these bipartisan. And now when the Democrats are in charge, what do? They want party line votes, which is what they got in the House and the Senate. And the reason for that, Eric, is because only 9% of this bill had anything to do with COVID. The other 91% is money for the arts, humanities, transportation, abortion, loan forgiveness for students, loan forgiveness for socially disadvantaged farmers. You also have a provision of 15 weeks of paid vacation leave for federal employees. And then you've got earmarks in there for hospitals in New Jersey, Rhode Island, Delaware, plus the big $350 billion blue state bailout. This bill is not fair to people who are truly hurting because of COVID. It is not fair to our children and grandchildren and future generations because they're the ones that are going to see their tax rates go up when the bill comes due.
I'm going to ask you about the debt, which we haven't heard that word a lot lately in just a moment. But, you know, the president, hailed it as there's the debt clock right there. I mean, we're at $23 trillion or so, and it's just zipping on it. It never stops.
Yes.
At the same time, despite what you just said, 18 million Americans unemployed, 8 million jobs not coming back, 40 million Americans can't meet rent, they say. So the president says that this is so important in order to help those people beyond coronavirus. What do you say to that?
Relief should be targeted, temporary, and timely. The Democrats did not want timely relief prior to the election. They wanted people to suffer. And Nancy Pelosi told us why. She said because they felt like it would help them win the elections.
No, do you think it really is fair? Senator, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you think it really is fair to say that Democrats wanted people to suffer? They don't want people to suffer.
They delayed relief when people were saying we desperately need relief. They delayed money to small businesses when small businesses were saying we need another round of PPP. That was a choice they made. As I said, there were 5 COVID bills that were bipartisan bills. There is one that is on party line, and 91% of the bill does not affect COVID. 9% of the bill affects COVID. So, whether you want to say it was fair or not fair, it is an action they took, and it is an admission that they have made. So I think it was just really unfortunate that was their choice. Now, people are saying those that are unemployed desperately need help. We know the jobs market is coming back. Let's help individuals bridge this gap. Let's come around them and support them when they need these jobs. Let's cheer for these employers that are opening their doors and getting back to work, and people that are getting back to work, and help them with that process. But do you really need to bail out the blue states that have mismanaged their funds and have mismanaged their pensions? Do you really want to put money now into arts and humanities? I think that's the question.
Okay. But you also know, I mean, your state gets $6 billion, Florida gets $16 billion, Texas gets $27 billion, so red states get a lot of money too. But someone raising a question about all of this is Joe Manchin. I mean, he's become the John McCain of the Democrats, a maverick. Let me show you something that he did say about the deficit and his concerns, because he threw a monkey wrench into this. Here's Senator Manchin of West Virginia.
I'm concerned now more about the debt that we're accumulating, and we've been accumulating through all different types of administrations. It's time to get our financial house in order. I'm in that moderate middle, and common sense is not real common sometimes in Washington, but we can come together. We have to.
Finally, do you think you can come together? Do you think that your side can work with Senator Manchin?
I think that my side has been trying to work with people. As I said, look at the COVID relief bills that were bipartisan under a different type of leadership. And working on the debt, of course, when I went to Congress, waste, fraud, and abuse, drawing attention to that was our project that we were working on. It is immoral to continue to pile debt on our children and grandchildren, to know that they're going to have to find a way to pay for this. It is selfish not to sit down and work this out so that we are not adding to the debt. There are all sorts of good things that you can do with money, but we have to remember the federal government only has money that the taxpayer sends to them. Hardworking taxpayers earn this money. And as Margaret Thatcher would have said, socialism is fine until you run out of other people's money. And this continuing to say we're going to pick winners and losers with federal government money, which is taxpayer money, is completely inappropriate. And yes, it does need to stop.
We will get back to you certainly in the coming months on this issue. Let me show you the debt clock one more time. People are hurting, but this is an issue. $23 trillion and growing that we'll hear a lot more in Washington. Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee, there's the debt clock, evoking the Iron Lady. Thank you, Senator, for joining us here on Fox News Live this Sunday.
Thank you.